All right, so after you follow the link to sign into Canva, you'll just sign in with your Google account. It should open like this, and you'll click on video. And you can pick different sizes. Doesn't really matter, but I think I'm gonna do this size. It'll just fill out the frame better if you do that one. Like the one that you saw in Canvas, I used around those dimensions. So first there's some things to learn of where to go on here. So on the left-hand side, you'll have, there's templates, but I wouldn't really use those. Those are just for like invitations, or it's not really going to go with what we're doing. So there's these elements, right? So there's different things. There's like just simple things like shapes and lines. There's graphics. There's photos. I haven't really explored the video. Apparently there's some audio. So there's all these different elements, as they call them, that you can add. Also, if you find a picture from the internet that you want to upload, you can upload an image. You also have text here where you can just do regular text. And like if I added a heading, I could just change the font normally like that. Or you can look at these font combinations, all these different font combinations. And then you also have different backgrounds if you wanted something other than just a solid color. Well, you click up here for solid colors. So how these stop motion things work is that you're just adding a bunch of pictures together. So for example, this is the one that y'all saw on Canvas that I'm about to remake and show you. You can see it's just these pictures put together, and then when you press play, they create that little stop motion video. So that's what I'm going to show you how to make as an example. Again, you can explore YouTube if you want to get more in depth with it, but I'm just going to show you a very basic way of doing it. So back here to our blank canvas, first thing that I would do is go up here and edit the timing. 5 seconds is way too long. Honestly, you probably want like 2 seconds, or if you want to go quicker, you can do 1 second. But I'm going to do, sorry, that's not a second. That's 0.2 of a second. So I would say between like 1 and 3, 0.1 or 3. Okay, so I'm going to do 0.2. And then I'm going to choose a background color. So let's see, I want to edit that. So by clicking to the side here, clicking on the actual canvas thing over here, it'll pull up a box over here. You click on that. And you can look through colors that are already there, but also if you want to add your own, you click this. And I like this orangey color, but I want it maybe a little more brownish, like that. So that's the color I want. That's going to be my background. And now what I added for my little plates is I just searched in the graphics here on the left for a square. And you can search them all. You can search photos. You can search graphics. Let's see. I'm going to look at graphics. So I'm going to get this one. So I click on it, and it'll come on the screen. And I can change the color. So if I go back up here, I can click on color. I want it to be similar to this background, but not exactly the same because I want it to stand out a little bit. So I'm going to click on that color as the same color as the background. Then I'm going to click on this so I can edit the color. And I'm going to lighten it. Oh, that's too much. We'll start over. using the arrow key on my computer to just slowly kind of move it over and change it. All right, that's pretty good. That's the color I want. And since I'm doing plate boundaries, I'm going to need 2 different plates, right? Because that's what happens, they interact. So I'm going to scoot, sorry, this one all the way over here. And I'm going to do Control Copy and paste it. So it's exactly the same one. All right. So I want them over time for these 2 to meet in the middle and have an interaction. So that's my first slide here. Okay. Oh, I didn't change the time. Maybe I didn't press enter. There we go. I forgot to press enter. So you change the time, make sure you press enter so it changes the length of that section. All right. So the easiest thing to do is just copy these over and over again and then just slowly adjust them. So you can right click and click duplicate, or you can just click on it and then you do Control V and paste. So whichever works for you. So here we are in our second frame, and I'm just going to scoot them together just a little bit. And how you do this is you press Shift on your keyboard and then the arrow key to move it. And you do Shift because otherwise it would move it slowly. I'll show you. See, it's like barely moving it. So by clicking Shift, it'll move it. So I moved it 4 times that way, and then I'm going to click on the other one and then move it 4 times in the center. And I'm just going to continue to duplicate these until they are right together. So I just sped up the process here because it's just me copying and moving them over and over and over again. So you're just going to continue to duplicate by either right-clicking and clicking duplicate or doing Control D to duplicate. And you're just moving the pieces however you need them so your end result will have some movement. All right, so now they're touching. Now look, I'm going to show you what it looks like so far. So I press play here. You can see how adding all those frames together shows them moving. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my last one. And what I did for that other video is I just searched the word crack. And I believe I had that one, but I'm going to get a new one. So I just click on this, and it appears. All right, and it's actually sized pretty well. But if I want to change the size, I can just click those little thingies and move it back and forth. Okay. So I want it to move. So now I'm going to take a copy of this again. And then I'm just going to turn it a little bit. So you click this little arrow thingy here, and I'm going to turn it a little bit to the left. All right, and then I'm going to copy and paste that, and then turn it back the other way. And now I just want those 2 things to happen over and over again, so going to the left and the right. By adding those together, it's going to look like it's shifting back and forth. So I'm going to highlight these 2 frames and then just copy and paste them. So you can see that it's selected because it's purple. Now I'm going to click Shift on my keyboard and then the right arrow, and now it has both of those selected. And I'm going to do Control Copy, Control V, and see it's going to just paste that several times. So now if we watch all of that together, you're going to see those plates converging together and then the earthquake happening. So it's a very simple tutorial on how to do it. When you add your text, I guess I'll show you how I did the text too. So how I did the text was there might be a simpler way to do this, but this is what made sense in my mind. I added a subtext, and you could have been adding this as you're doing your other elements, but so I had when 2 plates converge. I think I said more than that. I don't remember what I said, but it doesn't really matter. This is just an example. All right, so I can change the size. I can change the color. I can make it bold. I can make it not bold. I can change the font up here. So if I want to change it to this, it changes it. I can stretch it out. And if you grab this little 4 arrow thingy and drag it, these lines will come up in the center to show you that you've centered it. So how I did it to make like only a few words show at a time is I wrote my entire statement, whatever I wanted to say, and then the words that I didn't want to show up yet, I made the color of the background. And like I said, there might be a better way to do this, but this is just what made sense to me. And when you watch those videos on YouTube, if you choose to do so, they might have better ideas than me, because I'm still new to this stop motion thing on Canva. So here's my background color. So see, when I make those words that I don't want to appear yet, the color of the background, they disappear. The reason why I do that is just so the sentence kind of appears as I do it. You'll see. So I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to go to the next frame and paste it. All right. Now I want to reveal some more words. So I'm going to highlight the word to and change that to black so it'll show up. All right. I'm going to highlight that and put it on the next frame. And I'm going to reveal another word. Oops, that wasn't the right color. There we go. Copy and paste it. I might need to spread these out more, but oh well. All right, and then I'm going to show the word converge. All right, let's see. Yeah, see, I still have some more frames. I should have spread it out a little bit more, but that's okay. Now I'm just going to put the entire thing on here, I think, for the remaining frames. And I mean, with the creative process, you know, you're changing and editing things, so it may take a few tries. Okay, yeah. So when 2 plates converge, and now we have when they meet. And this is where I added the word earthquake. And I used this font. Let's see. Maybe I'll use a different one. I'll use this one. It's pretty similar. Actually, I don't like that. It doesn't stand out enough. I'm just going to use that original one that I used. Where'd it go? Alright, whatever. I'm going to use this one. Alright, so I'm going to write earthquake. Alright, that's too big, right? So I can highlight it. I can make the font smaller. Doesn't need to be that large. I'm going to grab this here to move it up. right? And I can change the colors of it. I think I want to make, I don't like black. I don't know. It's too light. Whatever. Sure, that's fine. And then what you can do is you can either choose these 3 buttons here and click Animate. And you can make it move, like rise up from the bottom, pan from right to the left. Or what I did, just to kind of simulate an earthquake, is, I'm going to remove this animation, is I did just like I did with the crack. I just made it move it back and forth. So in this direction, so I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to go here and paste it. All right, and then I'm going to turn it. And then just do that over and over. And then just like with the crack, it will make it look like it's moving back and forth. So now that I copied and pasted it a bunch of times, and now let's look at it all together. So we got all these frames making the stop motion to make it look like it's moving. Okay. So when 2 plates converge, earthquake.